Blake Lively's good. She should jump guy A and dump guy B and go out with Guy Fieri. That's, I think, how we fix this.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Popcorn Bucket List. Fun fact, there were 116 F-bombs in Deadpool and Wolverine in 127-minute runtime, which equals just short of one F-bomb per minute. We're going to break that record on today's episode starting right... No, I'm just kidding. We go up on public access, so we couldn't do that if we wanted to.
Yeah, you guys remember on South Park, they did that? With the S word.
Yep.
Awesome.
Margaret off the bingo card. We reference South Park in record time as well.
That's great.
Joining us today, very special guest, my friend and yours from Marshall Radio, McGraw.
How's it going, everybody?
Joining us once again here today.
Yep. Here to bail you guys out. I've been told I'm going to carry the show.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. Yep. We're going to be talking about Borderlands here, and we have no knowledge of the video game or anything like that. So we were literally sitting in at the Marshall Radio offices, and I was like planning these next few episodes, and I just kind of turned around to you. I was like, "What are the odds you know anything about Borderlands?" She's like, "Yeah, I've played them." I'm like, "Good, you're going to be on." So we moved heaven and earth to get you on here today. It's been a crazy,
this just about didn't
week.
happen. It's been planned, canceled about 3 times.
For those of you who think we just come down here, sit down, or whatever, no, we need like a Hollywood level broker to.
I mean, if you need any proof, I'm sure I'm going to come across a little red on the camera.
Yeah, you've been running around here. So for today's opening spotlight, we're going to do something again that we've done in the past. Never really came up with a title for this trivia, but we challenge you to Borderlands trivia.
If there's any Kevin Hart ones, you lied to
I
me.
promise you there's no Kevin Hart ones. I promise you. Why would I lie to you?
Because it'd be fun. It'd be good content.
It would.
Yeah,
I definitely thought about putting one on there, but I didn't.
Your loss.
No, so we're gonna test some of your knowledge here about Borderlands. I don't know how good of a puzzle master I am, so I don't know how difficult.
We'll see if these are
or not so. The first time we did this with David, I thought I was kind of being a little bit challenging, and he just knocked him out of the park.
I did watch a brief recap of the plot of the games before I came over here. Just try and make sure I knew what I was. It's been a while.
I don't know how much that's. I don't know how much that's going to help you here.
Probably not, but we'll see.
We'll have to wait and see. But in case you need a little bit of reminder here. Here are essentially the rules. You are competing for a Marshall 6 theater gift card that you can use to watch Borderlands or any movie you want. I'm not controlling your life.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'm not going to control your life here.
So good.
Yeah, you could use it for that as well if you gain enough points, essentially. Basically, you are competing for a maximum of a $25 for every answer. Or for every question you answer correctly, first try, that's $5 towards your total.
Okay.
And if you miss out the very first try, then I'll give you some multiple choice answers. Every time you get it wrong, it gets knocked down. But minimum, you're going to get $1 each question.
If I got multiple choice, I'm winning something.
So yeah, that's the point. We don't want you to leave here with nothing, or something like that. At the very least, you're going to get $5 out of this, and that can help you watch the movie here this upcoming weekend. But any questions before we really get this one started?
No,
here?
hit me with it.
All right. I rehearsed this earlier, so hopefully I get this right again. All right, there we go. There's our trivia. Trivia
I like
music.
that.
Yeah. I honestly couldn't remember if I kept it on here since the last time because it's been so long since we've done that with David. All right, question 1. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, approximately how many gun combinations are there in the first Borderlands game?
It's 8 something. It's like 8.3. I don't want to say trillion. I don't think it's that high. I think it's 8.3 million.
Sorry, that is incorrect.
Give me the multiple
Here are
choice.
the multiple choice. So is it A, 16 million, B, 17 million, C, 18 million, or D, 19 million?
18 million.
Oh,
no.
You get another chance here.
What are the last ones?
Okay, so it's either 16, 17, or 19.
So yeah,
I think it's 16. Oh, he's hitting the button. It's got to.
So it's either 17 or 19.
More or less than what?
19? No, I was gonna say 7. Oh wait.
17 million.
17. Okay.
So it was B 17 million.
That's crazy.
That I had to look that up on a couple different sources just to make sure.
I'm glad you're bringing that up because we're gonna talk about that.
I have questions about that for sure. We're gonna definitely ask some questions about that. Question 2. One of the most popular characters in the franchise, Tiny Tina. Okay, it only lasts for so long. I thought I said it to Luke. One of the most popular characters in the franchise, Tiny Tina, is voiced by Ashley Birch. She is related to one of the developers of the second game. What is the job of said relative in Borderlands 2? I was going to say the name, and then I was like, that would give it away.
Coming out here with haymakers.
I'm sorry. I thought, okay. I think the next few are easier.
Senior producer. Button.
Okay,
give us the
Here are the options. Is it A, director, B, programmer, C, writer, or D, composer?
They voiced Tiny Tina.
So they have to have.
So Ashley Birch voiced Tiny Tina. She is related to a developer in Borderlands 2.
So
what is the?
I'm gonna try and logic this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say writer. I'm gonna close my eyes so I don't see you press the button.
That is correct.
Let's go.
That is
Hey!
correct. Writer Anthony
Tiny Tina
Birch.
is a very eclectic character. So.
Yeah.
Yes, Tiny Tina, and that's something we're going to bring up for this movie as well here, I believe.
Okay.
In the upcoming movie version of this video game, this movie stars Jack Black and Cate Blanchett. This is not the first time these two have worked together. What is the other movie they have worked on? I'll admit this one doesn't deal as much with the video game here. So this one is the one I thought was going to be the tough one, unfortunately. So I feel a little bad now.
Jack Black
and Cate Blanchett.
I'm not a movie guy like you guys are. I love
this
them,
is where I'm going to say you can phone a friend.
I'm gonna phone a friend.
Do you? Can we hear the titles?
You can. I would suggest making a guess first, then seeing if that does it.
Something.
Jack Black, obvious. So
what are other things that Cate Blanchett has been in? Because I know her name, but and I know I've seen her and stuff, but I'm not remembering any of them.
I know it's wrong, but it's the only thing that I can kind of think of, and it's the one where Jack Black, he sees people like super skinny, and she's a big girl.
Oh, I don't know what the name of that movie is, but that's a hilarious movie.
That's my guess, but I'm guessing it's going to be wrong.
Okay. Here are the multiple choice. Is it A, Thor Ragnarok, B, Shark Tale, C, The House with the Clock in its Walls, or D, Don't Look Up? Carter's freaking out. You only get one photo, friend.
It is. Excuse me. Shark Tales.
I think I know.
You think you know?
I think I know.
You can still help him if you want to on this.
Are you good with Spanish?
No.
C.
Oh. Oh, it was a dad joke. Oh, goodness.
That's for the dad
That's
joke.
not it.
That is for, but it is the right answer.
Okay, thank you.
I'm giving you that for the dad
which one was
joke.
C?
The House with the Clock in its Walls.
As soon as
Fun
you said
fact.
that,
I don't know if I've ever heard that movie title before.
No, Shark Tale. And Shark Tale also had Jack Black in it. He was the shark, the vegan shark.
Which one of them was in the option A?
Cate Blanchett was in Thor Ragnarok.
Okay. Yeah. Thinking Thor Ragnarok.
Also fun
Jack
fact.
Black wasn't in there,
Yeah,
was
I was
he?
like, I don't.
There was the few that I picked in here. I was like, there could have been a cameo, which would have thrown you off, which is why I did Thor Ragnarok and Shark Tale. Like with voice actors, you never really know.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact: the guy who directs this movie also directed The House with the Clock in its Wall. So this is actually the second time all three of them have essentially worked together. Eli Roth, who did that movie, and
Eli Roth is directing this?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I almost thought about giving you that hint.
Oh, now I'm pumped for it.
Yeah. You should have been pumped before. We're talking Borderlands here today. That's the big thing today. All right, so that was on second guess, right? I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so on to question number 4. The character of Roland was discharged from what group?
Crimson Lance.
Correct.
Boom.
Crimson Lance.
That's a recap video coming in.
There you go. That time you put in paid off right there.
I would have sat here looking real confused, like, I know he was somewhere.
Yep. Question number 5. According to the first Borderlands game, what are the 4 character classes? Now, this one here, you have to, if you can guess all 4 first try, then that's the $5. Each time you have to, if you get one wrong, then try it again, and we'll just knock it down. So, according to the first...
There is Mordecai, who's a brawler. There is the Hunter, who is a Falcon. There is Lilith, who is a Siren. And then, what's the last one?
I know.
Did I ever play as that last one? Oh, no. I think I know. Hunter, Siren, Brawler.
Because...
Oh, what am I... It's Roland. What am I talking about? Soldier.
I'm going to give it to you. Officially, it's Berserker, is what I found.
Berserker would be Mordecai.
Yeah. I think you were on the right trail there. It's just different words. So yeah, I'm going to give it to that one. That one.
His special ability, he throws away his guns. He starts punching people.
Classic strategy right there. So yeah, there we go. I'm just going to... Okay, it doesn't let you match it. There we go. But you get the point. There we go. So yeah, a little bit of a rough start there, but eventually stuck the landing.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll tally up that score later, and we'll get you that card for sure. So that way you can check out that movie and some others here. But with that, we're just going to kind of use that to sort of transition to the weekly preview right away here, because there are actually quite a few things we got to talk about, one of which being Borderlands. But very quickly, we're just going to quick mention here, Thursday, August 8th, coming to Prime Video, One Fast Move. This movie centers around a motorbike racer who has a checkered past, but he attempts to put his life together by tracking down his dad and trains to be a better racer. Look, it's a sports movie. It's got all those cliches. It's a racing movie, but this time it's on 2 wheels.
Yeah. Is there ever been a motorcycle bike racer that hasn't had a checkered past? I think that's a better question.
I feel like that is very much lumping in a group of people. There's got to be one.
Yeah, I'm in that group of people.
You are not in that group of people. You are not in that group of people.
I'm in the motorcycle club.
You are not in the motorcycle club.
Yep. I've owned 2 bikes, and now I have a moped. I'm a rider.
But yeah, let's talk about the big ticket item here, Borderlands. That's what we brought you in here for.
Yeah.
So, talk before we really get into the movie here.
Yeah, should we start with what do you guys know and what do you need to know?
I know the video game franchise is titled Borderlands.
Okay.
Yep.
That's about as far as I've gotten.
I've been with someone when they were playing it, so I kind of saw the first person angle-ish.
It's a first-person shooter.
Yep, and I want to say for a little bit I did because I could be wrong, but I think you can play the campaign like whatever you call it, the co-op.
Oh, yeah. So you can play a 4-player co-op. That's a big draw of the game.
Yeah, and I think that's what we did. I only played it one day with him, so like it was cool. It was fun. But I didn't own the game, so I didn't get. But that character that they show him I don't remember what the character's name is, but they show him for a quick glimpse in the trailer. But he's the guy like on the very first Borderlands, like the mascot on the front of the cover.
Oh, like okay, so yeah,
that guy's recognizable.
In the movie, so 2 different things actually going on there.
All right.
In Borderlands world or whatever, so in the original Borderlands, they're on a planet called Pandora, and there's a whole bunch of psychos. All those psychos wear those masks.
Yeah.
There is a psycho in the movie called Krieg. He's not actually from the first game. He's a playable character, I think, in the second one, maybe an expansion or something. I don't remember. There's been 3 mainline installments of Borderlands, so each of them has started out with like 4 main characters that you can play as. And on that note, actually, Jamie Lee Curtis's character Tannis, she's in all the games, but she is a NPC. You can't play as her.
So she's the thing I kind of get is she's kind of the guy in the chair kind of character running the mission.
Yeah. So I watched a brief recap of the plot of the first game. Mm-hmm. She betrays him in the end of the first game, and then they have to go and save her. And, it'll really be on Jamie Lee Curtis to see if she can match that.
Sell that.
Yeah, Tannis is a really, really bizarre, like mad scientist type character.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't getting that many vibes from the trailer.
Yeah.
But we'll see if she can hit that note. And I think with the movie, that's going to be the really difficult part. I was trying to think of a good metaphor for like what type of vibe should the movie be trying to hit if it's going to fulfill on the promise of the games.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably around that, like, you had Mad Max meet Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. That's
with a little bit. I mean, Deadpool's got the juvenile humor in it. It's definitely the Borderlands style of humor.
Similar crowd they're aiming for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't really getting that as much from the trailer.
I was gonna say the movie trailer gave me a little bit more of a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe.
Yeah, wasn't a big fan of that.
You don't think that's very indicative to the video game?
No, because like a big part of the video games is you can do 4-player co-op. Mm-hmm. The game is best played like with a party of 4. I played them with both friends and I've played them like solo. Solo, they're not as much fun, but definitely, I don't know.
What are generally the missions in the game? Because here it looks like it's either heist or treasure hunt.
I mean, there's all types of different things. So because it's a first-person shooter, but it's like it's got RPG elements to it, which you kind of see all over games nowadays. But back in the day, I think 2008 is when it came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say it
was very, very different than everything. I am really, really sad in the trailer. This kills me because one, it's one of my favorite songs, but also it is just such. It's what Borderlands is. The Cage the Elephant, I think, is the name of the artist.
Okay.
No Rest for the Wicked.
Oh, yep.
That is the Borderlands game intro music.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if they made that song specifically for the game, but that's the first time I ever heard it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole intro sequence at the beginning of the game that is super, super cool to watch, where that's playing the entire time. Mm-hmm. You really get a, like, feel for the zaniness of what's going to be going on in this world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wish they would have used that in the trailer. I think it's a mistake to not have that somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully I don't really know much about the director.
Yeah, hopefully they still put it in there. I mean, I feel like Eli Roth is kind of a nerd, a little bit.
I will say, I think the place to use that music is if the movie has good build-up towards, like, you know, like a zany or, like, a sequence towards the end where, like, you know, classic story, you got the group, you split them up.
Yeah.
They go on their separate ways. They reconvene, take down the bad guy. Like, if they do that reconvene bit and then they have some, like, really cool sequence, that's the time to pull that music out.
Yeah.
There could be reasons that it's not in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, but it's got to be in there somewhere. If it's not, it's a miss.
Yeah. So I would say, do you have high hopes then?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know what it is, but I don't know.
You know, and I've heard that from other people about this specific game to this movie.
The trailer's not super encouraging as a fan of the games.
Yeah. And I heard somebody didn't like the choice of Kevin Hart as the.
You've mentioned that to me unprompted, by the way, a few times.
When you talk about casting choices, I think Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm a big fan of her. I think she can play the role of Tannis really well. I think Jack Black playing Claptrap, which, do you guys know much about Claptrap?
He's a little robot thing.
He's the centerpiece of the game.
Okay.
Well, he's the center. He's like the humor relief character who's just always getting into trouble, and like him getting into trouble propels the plot. Like, I showed a trailer of something to Nick the other day where he's getting worshipped by a whole bunch of these like psychos, and you know, I think the mission to save him is like, you kill everybody, and then he's like, oh, well, I wish they would have been worshiping me, but too bad, I don't care anymore. Like, so hitting that humor, and I have faith in Jack Black to do that.
I really like Jack Black. Interesting. So all right.
Yeah, I don't know. Roland, I don't know.
I will say, I mean, historically speaking, video game movie adaptations have not been successful. However, there's been a little bit of an upswing, I would say, more recently.
Yeah. Well, and I think if there's any video game adaptation that you could make into a successful movie, I would think Borderlands would be the world to go and do it in, because what defines the games is not so much, I think, the plot as it is the humor and the environment. And you could take that and go and make a really zany, Deadpool-ish style movie.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's what we get.
I think worst case scenario, what could happen here is it may not be the first thought most fans would have for a movie adaptation, but it could be the way to introduce a mainstream audience. Because I was thinking about this with, we got that poster there too, Detective Pikachu. This was like the first big live action like Pokemon movie adaptation we had in decades, and they chose Detective Pikachu? Yeah, that's a weird choice.
What I think was important about that is they went with an original storyline.
That too.
And so so let's talk about the guns a little bit here.
Yeah,
because that is a part of the world
17 million
building.
gun combinations according to the Guinness World Records.
Yeah, so I mean that's a little misleading because that is definitely a marketing term. Like, okay, I've got the way the game works is it rolls you a random gun, very similar to how like loot and stuff works in like a Diablo game or like kind of any RPG you can think of, where you got a weapon and it's like deals cold damage, has a chance to stun, something along those lines. Except it's Borderlands, so it's like. It zooms in this much, or it has reduced recoil, or something like that.
Yeah.
And there were some really fun things, but the way the guns kind of worked is they kind of went into different categories based off of what their gun manufacturer was, which are these big corporations that are spanning the world, and they're a driving force in the world. And I believe the main bad guy-ish of the Borderlands movie, if I understood this correctly, is named Atlas. And Atlas is that's like a manufacturer of gun that you can get, and they expanded that in the second game, where in the first one they weren't really unique to the manufacturer, and then in the second game like they did certain different things. But anyways, so there's a lot of different crazy wacky guns. Like in one of the games there's one that shoots Minecraft blocks, or let's see if I can think of another one. Like that's the other thing for Borderlands too. I think for the movie to be successful, they have to like do these pop culture references, but in a really subdued way that you get it 30 minutes later after you're out of the movie, and it can't be like that super explicit kind of Marvel, like, hey, we're going to make really, really clear that you understand what this reference is.
Yeah.
We're not going to leave any wiggle room.
Yeah.
Because there's like Master Chief references from Halo all across the game.
Yeah.
Like all of these different little pieces of pop culture. And that's definitely a part of the humor. See if it hits that.
Yeah.
Can confirm the bad guy is called Atlas in here. And believe it or not, that's not going to be the last time we're going to talk about a character named Atlas today, believe it or not. That'll be one of our other movies here today. But
I'm curious to hear you guys' impressions of the like main ragtag group. So like Roland, Tiny Tina, Tanis.
Yeah, when I kind of first saw that, it seemed like
Lilith.
It seemed like the safe. They were going like a safe route as far as like the heist gang, so to speak. There's the driver, there's the leader, there's the rebel kid, and then there's like the muscle, sort of thing. And again, kind of tying it back to Guardians of the Galaxy, I feel like you had the leader, you have sort of the driver, I guess, which could be Rocket, and I guess Rocket could be also the rebel or whatever. And
it
also
kind of
had
fits
the
that
muscle.
rogue archetype.
So part of me was kind of like, all right, well, you kind of know what you're going to get for in this one here.
Now, is Kevin Hart supposed to be the muscle here?
Yeah, I don't know.
You've described his character as the muscle.
He's supposed to be from the game. So in the games, his character Roland is a former. This Crimson Lance group is the main like antagonist in the first game, where they're like a mercenary group that is on this planet of Pandora. And I should clarify this. The reason they're on Pandora is because there is supposedly an ancient vault there that can only be opened every 200 years, and you need a couple of keys to do it. And then in the games, when you open that vault, a big giant monster called the Destroyer comes out and tries to just destroy everything, and you got to defeat him to get all of the awesome loot in the vault.
Oh my god, that's a lot of enemies. There you go. What? No, he totally hit that.
Did it.
You done.
Did it.
You done.
You're a computer gamer, aren't you?
I'm not a gamer at all.
You have a PS3.
Yeah, that I use for racing games. Oh no, he's got a hostage.
It's alright, I'll save you. Hitting the button. Hitting the button. Dodge. Dodge. I gotta say it out loud.
Oh my god, that's a tank!
I did not see. So there's a character that's recurring in like all of the games, and he manufactures his own firearms. He's like the firearms dealer in the game, named Jacob. It's Jacob or Jacob. I don't remember how they pronounce it, but he is hilarious, and I'm really sad I don't see him in the cast anywhere.
Well, you gotta save some for the sequels.
Yeah, well, and there's a lot of other tertiary characters like that too, like the doctor that you buy all your health supplies from. The first time you meet, his name's Dr. Zed. The first time you meet him, you like open up a garage door, and it cuts to a cutscene of him like taking a big hash and going into like the torso of somebody as he's like, "Oh, I'm doing surgery to try and save him," and then he turns to talk to you, and your character's like, "Do you need to?" Nah, it's over anyways. Like,
so you kind of making the implication here. This probably would have been better as a rated R.
That I was just gonna clarify. It is PG-13.
The movie is PG-13.
Yeah.
And just from the little bits and clips I've seen from the video game, I was kind of surprised this was not rated R.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like you were talking earlier, I think they went the safe route. Because I think, too, with casting such big names for most of the cast, it's a much safer route. If they would have went more towards the actual characters and done more towards the video game, they would have probably done more like lesser known or no name people. But this is more of the, hey, let's introduce this world. Because, you know, there's stop me if I'm wrong, but there's other characters in the other games, right?
Yeah, so there's like a whole bunch of different, so they're all playing. In the games, you play a Vault Hunter, which is, there's a whole bunch of different of these Vault Hunters that like come to Pandora to try and find the vault, and inevitably the wasteland and horrible place that Pandora is just eats them alive.
Yeah.
And so there's another like plot point, which is Lilith, Cate Blanchett's character, is a siren, and sirens have these like psionic special abilities, and they're like, in the games, it gets a lot more in-depth, but they're, like, kind of connected to the, like, vaults. The vaults are from some ancient civilization, and I don't know. It really isn't that relevant in the games. Like, you go through the story, but you're playing it for the gameplay and the fun with your friends and the irreverent humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys think of Tiny Tina?
So I like that actress. So for those people who don't know, that was essentially young Gamora turned young Ahsoka turned just about any other young character, I guess. The same actor. I will say the first trailer especially did make me kind of interested in this movie because I was interested to see her doing just crazy stuff and some of the crazy lines she had. I'm curious how much or how close is that to her in the video games?
So Tiny Tina's more of a like I don't remember if she was in the first game or not. If she was like a DLC for it. But she's really eclectic. They have a whole Borderlands game where it's like Tiny Tina's Wonderland now. I don't know. We'll see how she pulls it off. When I was watching the trailer before I came here, just to refresh myself, there's a point where she's like, "All right, I'm gonna make it rain with your body parts."
Yeah.
That's a very Tiny Tina line. Like that
was kind of what hooked me.
That is right up the alley of Borderlands.
And
how much is that gonna be fulfilled on in a PG-13 movie?
But here's the thing, though, is that gives me hope for this movie because you're talking about that line confirmed it to you. That was pretty accurate to her character.
That's like straight out of the games.
Even someone as me who has not played these games, I heard that line when I saw that trailer, and I was like, I kind of figured out what this character is about.
Yeah.
So knowing that is accurate, first of all, and second of all, knowing that even to someone like me who have not played the games, I can still kind of connect to this world a little bit. or I shouldn't say connect as in relate to. I mean, connect as in like I kind of understand the fandom.
Yeah, you understand the vibe of what's going on. Claptrap will have to bring a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Jack Black, all my faith in him.
I mean, we keep talking about this cast. It does have a pretty
I
good
think it is
cast.
a good cast.
If anyone's going to pull this off, Jack Black.
I will let Kevin Hart surprise me.
Yeah. That's another thing. Like, I hope we kind of like we're talking like this, but I hope when we go into it, it's like, oh, that movie was awesome.
Yeah.
I
think what more than likely is going to happen is when me and you saw Uncharted, and we thought it was really good, and then we talked to people who've played Uncharted, and they're like, that movie was terrible. We're like,
awful.
We didn't think that was that bad.
I think the movie, like, if it is bad, I think it'll fall into, like, kind of that category that, like, a lot of Snoop Dogg's movies fall into, where they're, like, they're cult classic movies that aren't necessarily, like, technically good.
Yeah.
But
there's fun.
People out there that there's an audience for the humor and what's going on with it. And Borderlands has kind of always been that way.
Yeah.
The humor has always been a little too juvenile.
Yeah.
Kind of on purpose.
Okay.
Because there's been some reception as the franchise has continued forward. People are getting a little sick of the humor, and they want it to be a little bit wittier and yeah. So the humor is going to be the test for me. Also, just with the music that's in the trailer, I think that will also be the test for me on what the soundtrack is like, if that's going to match the kind of vibe that they're going for. Visually, I think it looked pretty decent.
I was going to say, it looked pretty practical for the most part.
All the effects looked pretty clean. Like, Claptrap didn't look Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
Which I'd hope not, because it is a mechanical thing, so it's easier to do in CGI.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with Claptrap's model, the test there will be like how much of the personality comes through in Jack Black's voice versus like the actual model moving around. Because I think Claptrap, he just has the one eye, but it like goes all over the place, and he's got these little spindly arms, and he's doing all of this. He's a very emotive character. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see if he's emotive in the movie as much so, or if there's maybe some corners there that aren't quite as sharp. Necessarily, depending on the modeling and everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other really zany, weird creatures in Pandora. Like there's these ones called skags, and they have like the alien mouth, but they're dogs. So like their mouth like splits like four
open.
ways, and they've got teeth all over the place, and you're always dealing with those. And then there's these like big beetles that hunch around, and we don't really get a lot of, I think, inspiration from Roland's character of like what the Crimson Lance looks like, because in the games he's wearing like old Crimson Lance armor, and Kevin Hart's character isn't really wearing.
Yeah, in this one it just looked like he was wearing like a regular like French beret.
It's like jungle military.
Yeah,
garb.
Yeah. It feels like they kind of ran out of the costume budget by the time they got to his character. Because you look at Cate Blanchett's character and all the others, and it's like they're very colorful, very vibrant, very out there. And then him, it's just a straight up like dark SWAT uniform. So I was kind of interested about that as well. I don't know. I think I am kind of looking forward to the action here. If they do some creative guns, and it doesn't have to reach 17 million. No. I hope they know that. Yeah. But as long as they can kind of keep that creative and inventive, I think this could be. I think this has got a chance.
I want to see. Oh, sorry.
The only thing I was going to say is the other reason why I thought this kind of felt like a Guardians of the Galaxy thing is because when that very first one came out, that had an August premiere date too, and it kind of killed it during that month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I can't help but feel like they're trying to replicate that.
Yeah, and I feel like there's not really a lot else coming out. There's nothing.
August is when it slows down.
Yeah,
that's when the summer movie season slows down. It's been that way for years now. So I think that's going to continue the trend here. But anything else you want to kind of talk about Borderlands, things you kind of expect, stuff like that?
I was just going to mention, like, I want to see if they have a whole bunch of different zany guns and stuff in the movie. You see in the trailer, like, Cate Blanchett has like a pistol, and it like has two revolvers, and it's twisting. That's straight out of the games, but I'd love to see if there's other different weird things.
Yeah.
On another note on the humor, because I'm remembering this, they're like driving through I think it's a pea geyser or something in the wasteland. I don't remember that being in the games. That's
more concerning because I would have been like, if that was from the games, is like, okay, if you're pitching that to a producer, and if I'm the producer, like I'm picture this now, you guys pitching me this movie, and like, oh, there's pee geysers. I'm like, what kind of fetish is this?
To roll the window
if you told me it was in the game, I'd be like, okay,
getting in her mouth.
Still weird, but at least it's in the game. But the fact that it's an original, that's a little weird.
There's something that juvenile in the game somewhere, but yeah, that specifically.
How would you feel in the next Borderlands game if they took that from the movie and put it in the Borderlands game now?
Yeah.
I haven't played the new ones. The last one I played with 3. But yeah, I don't know.
It'd be an interesting
level. The gameplay's good. If the gameplay's good, I'll ignore it.
Yeah, I'll forgive it. It'll be forgiven. All right, there are some other movies coming out here this weekend, so let's just kind of quickly go over those. It ends with Us, also coming out to theaters here. This movie stars the star of Deadpool and Wolverine, Blake Lively. Sorry, spoilers for any out there, I guess. This is a romantic drama movie based off of a book of the same name. It asks some pretty tough questions about love and what to do with when a relationship gets difficult. Is it worth solving the issue, or is it better sometimes to just move on? It seemed like, to me, this was actually setting up an interesting sort of moral argument about this relationship that started off really good, maybe wasn't good anymore. Do you just move on to someone else who's there, or do you try and buckle down and fix the issue? However, in the trailer, and I don't know if you got this vibe as well, it seemed like the guy was abusive, so that becomes less of a tough question.
Yeah, like to me, it looked, how do I say this? That's not the impression I got from the trailer.
That's not what you got?
No. The impression that I got was she was dating or was hooking up with this guy, and then that other guy shows up, and I felt like that other guy was her husband, and she's just been hooking up with this guy the whole time.
Maybe we just watched different trailers.
Yeah, that's probably what we got.
That happens every once in a while.
Yeah. Because it was like, this just seems like...
Because here's the love triangle I got, which was the one guy... was who she used to be with. She moved on. She moved to a different city, met this other guy, was with him. I got the vibe that relationship was borderline abusive, if not abusive.
Oh.
And then the other previous guy, we'll call him Guy B because he lived in Boston, and new guy is Guy A because I'm not going to look up names at this point. Guy B then moved to said new city, and all of a sudden, like, oh, this relationship is rocky. Do I just stick it out, or do I go with Guy B and hunt thus love triangle? Assumes proof of the Illuminati. Yeah. I don't know, but again, the vibe I got was it was an abusive relationship, at the very least emotionally abusive. So unless I don't know, totally interpreting something wrong here, I guess.
Yeah, I think.
But Blake Lively, she's good.
Yeah, Blake Lively's good. She should jump Guy A. and dump Guy B and go out with Guy Fieri. That's, I think, how we fix this.
I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. I just really need hot flaming stripes in my life.
Yeah.
Hey, free wings for life right there.
That's my opinion about this movie.
When in doubt, go with Guy Fieri. We'll call him Guy
Nothing but love towards Guy Fieri.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a pro Guy Fieri episode.
Absolutely.
Yes. Do you guys think they put this movie where they did in the calendar to maybe ride the Deadpool Wolverine wave? Because Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, them being a couple, they do kind of promote their own projects. You and I were talking about a video you were watching where Ryan Reynolds like crashed the press junket. Yeah. And like that was a little bit of a boost for this movie as well. I find it interesting how, Blake Lively, there was all these rumors. Is she going to show up in this Deadpool movie? So her name has already been in the internet zeitgeist.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, smash hit, Deadpool Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds, big hit. And then it's like a couple weeks after, oh hey, here's Blake Lively again, and here's Ryan Reynolds talking about it.
Yeah.
Do you think that was coincidental, or do you think they were strategizing?
No, I think they definitely strategized it because
this does not seem like a summer movie.
This is just a rom-com.
I don't even know if I call it a rom-com. It's pretty dramatic. It's a romantic drama.
It's your run-of-the-mill romantic drama movie. I don't think there's anything groundbreaking in this movie.
I would say if you're going to see it, watch it for Blake Lively because she almost always gives great performances.
Yeah, Blake Lively is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also coming out to theaters here, Cuckoo, coming straight to theaters, like I said before. This is a German film that shows a creepy, possibly supernatural mystery that takes place in the beautiful Alps. I almost said apps.
Apps.
Yeah. It takes place in the phone. This is Emoji Movie 2. Hopefully not. The title of a movie is super important. You don't want it to be misleading. We talked about Deadpool and Wolverine, and there was no misleading there. That movie did feature Deadpool and Wolverine. Yep. Snakes on the plane. There were snakes on that plane.
Yep.
This movie's titled Cuckoo, and man, does it look crazy.
It does. Yeah, I think it looks awesome. I can't wait to see it. It looks cool. It's a German film. It looks awesome.
It's a German film, but it's not like spoken in German.
No.
It's just made from German filmmakers.
Yep.
So it's not like an international movie where you got to read subtitles all the time.
Nope. Those Germans definitely know how to tell creepy stories.
Just
look at the Brothers Grimm.
Yep. I was gonna say this first premiered in like the Berlin Film Festival and everything like that. So kind of making a sort of an American run here. But yeah, the second I saw this trailer, I was like, this is right up your alley.
It's gonna be sweet.
I really don't know what else to say about this one because it goes in a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give like what do you think is? Give kind of your thoughts. What do you think's going on?
I've seen two different trailers, and the first one I thought she was crazy, and this like witch or demonic thing is following her, and just after her, and then after the second trailer, it seemed like, oh, there's like this doctor helper guy that's trying to help her, but also trying to like stop the criminal or stop the ghost. So I don't know. I think it's going to be some good action. I think it's going to be some like witchy horror, witchcraft thing kind of thing. And I think it's going to be great. And it looks very colorful and dark at the same time.
I think that is an interesting way to put it as well.
The palette of it.
Yeah. Last but certainly not least, The Instigators coming to Apple TV Plus. This one stars Casey Affleck and Matt Damon. That's why I was annoyed you did a South Park reference before, because I planned one later on. But this movie, I'm going to give you both 10 guesses to figure out which city this movie is set in. Give me your guesses. Matt Damon, Casey Affleck. Where do you think this movie, out of all the cities in the United States, out of all the possible cities in the world, they could possibly make a movie, these two, where do you think it's set?
Boston.
Didn't even rehearse that, but yeah. In a real plot twist here, set in Boston. This movie is an action comedy about a couple of guys who essentially try to work this heist that goes very, very wrong. Now the whole city is after them. Surprisingly, no Ben Affleck in this one, though, as far as I can tell. Not even really behind the scenes, as far as I could see.
Who knows? He might show up.
You think he's got a cameo?
Well, if his brother's in it and Matt Damon are in it, hey, what are you doing? You want to hop on set for today and be a?
He was delivering them their Dunkin' Donut coffee, which was prevalent product placement, even in the trailer.
Yeah.
Real question: do you guys think that company would still be in business if not for the Affleck family?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It just went okay. Would it be as profitable?
No. Because Dunkin' Donuts isn't really popular here in the Midwest. It's more of the coast, I believe.
East Coast thing.
Yeah.
I will say, to confirm your thoughts on that one, there was one time we were at an airport. I don't even remember which airport it was, but my sister wanted she's going to hate me for telling this story, but she wanted some breakfast food, and she was like, go to Dunkin' Donuts, and she was like, what do they got there? And me, my mom, and my dad just looked at her like, you can't figure out what they got at Dunkin' Donuts.
That's pretty funny.
They got French toast. That's what they got there. Yeah. Only French toast
and burgers
at Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, we still give her crap about that one there.
Yeah, it's just burgers with a hole out of the middle.
Yeah, it's basically what it is. It's basically what it is. I don't know. It looks funny, and there's a few moments where it looks funny. I would say
Matt Damon looks kind of old.
He's getting up there.
They
didn't use the de-aging technology?
No.
He's not letting him use it yet?
If anything, they added gray to him, I feel like.
Yeah, he looks older.
I think they amped it up.
Yeah.
Really, but yeah, we'll have to see. It's Casey Affleck, Matt Damon in Boston. That's where they do their best work, I guess. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there was just an M. Night Shyamalan movie. He does all of his stuff in Philadelphia. Everyone's got their home turf.
Yep.
I guess so. But that is everything coming out here this weekend. Let's transition into number one recommends. Talk about things we've seen recently that we think you should check out as well. Mitch, as the guest, I'll let you go first.
I was looking at this, Mike. Oh, what have I seen recently? But one just came to mind. Go watch Delicious in Dungeon on Netflix. It is a phenomenal, kooky little fun anime. They go into a dungeon and they make really cool dishes out of all the different monsters and stuff they kill. So if you're Dungeons and Dragons fan, it's definitely worth a watch. It's really good.
Perfect.
Surprise, cross this off your Big O card. Nick's going to talk about something Batman related. Cape Crusader, a little bit of a mini-series, came to Amazon Prime. It's basically Batman the Animated Series, but set in the 1940s. So is it breaking a lot of new ground as far as the character? No, it's just set in a little bit of a different time period. But it plays a little bit with some of the villains. It does a few things interesting, and it does have some fun mysteries to it too. So if you want a little bit more of a Batman fix, Amazon Prime, Batman, the Caped Crusader. That's what I'm going to recommend this weekend.
I do have one other one. Just because you're recommending Batman, and the second season this just finished coming out. My Adventures with Superman on Prime is, or no, not on Prime. Max.
Yep, it'd be on Max.
Is phenomenal.
Okay. Is that an animated series as well?
Yeah, it's kind of it's an animated series, but it's essentially Superman, but it has sort of an Western anime style to it.
Okay.
If you're sick of all of the dark and brooding, and we got to make every superhero now just really, kind of a little depressing. It's like classic Superman. He is a bumbling, klutzy, lovable dork.
Okay.
And Lois Lane is great in it too.
Yeah. Cool.
And Ryan, take us away. What are you recommending this week?
I'm going with one I was extremely happy to watch. I ended up having to pay for it. Paid $1.99, I think, on Amazon. I got to watch Late Night with the Devil, and it was fantastic. It really reminded me of a talk show from the 70s. It went for that, and it hit it on the head. The acting's great. There's a couple of little twists and turns in there. All in all, I just loved it. It brought me back to the early days of public access TV and just live TV in general. So yeah, check it out. It's great.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Popcorn Bucket List. Mitch, remind them once again, where can people hear you more?
So I'm not on social, well, personally, but if you want to tune in to me, I am on our 99.7 Cars Greatest Hits channel from 7 p.m. to midnight every weekday, and I'm there Saturday mornings as well. But also, if you want to give us any support on our Marshall Radio Facebook pages, I take all the photos when we go to different roadshow events, as well as make a lot of the different graphics that we have up there. So
very cool.
Always looking for a little bit more support on that work, because I put a lot of time into it.
Yep.
I can attest to that.
He knows.
Yeah, he puts in a lot of effort there. So head on over to Facebook, Marshall Radio, 99.7 Cars, 94.7 KKCK, a whole bunch over there. A lot of pages to check out. We try to spread out some of our posts too and everything. But while you're also over on Facebook, head on over to the Omni social channels as well.
Check it out.
And follow us over there as well. For myself, McGraw, and Meyerberg, we'd like to thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at the movies.
Boom. I have to pee like a racehorse.